What's cracking? What's up?
What's up?
How y'all
everybody?
doing?
How y'all doing today?
We back.
Look, first of all, I would like to apologize for the intro music.
Oh, you ain't gotta apologize.
That was all Ty, and I had nothing to do with it. That was all Ty, and I had nothing to do with it. This is just our opinion with Robin,
Mike,
and Ty.
What's up? Let's get it today. So today we're talking about relationship trauma. How do you cope with past pains? But we got a special guest joining us today. We got my girl Jennifer from Perfect 10 Mixology. Yes, she will be making drinks. She gonna kick it with us today. We gonna talk a little, cry a little, you know. Mike.
I know.
Listen, if the drinks get the flowing, the tears get the going. Okay, okay, that's just how it goes.
So we blaming it on the alcohol.
We ready.
Let's get it.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win.
I don't care what I'm doing. Our intro music gets me
every
hype.
week.
Yes,
that one.
Our intro music gets me hype. I just came here to win.
Back to our start in music. If you think about it, we're talking about mental health, and the song said, "I got mountains to move."
Okay, Ty, we get it. We get it.
It touched my soul.
Okay. Thank you, Ty.
So,
we gonna let him have that.
Yeah.
Y'all, Ty was feeling it, and we just gonna let him have that. So check this out. Jennifer from Perfect 10 Mixology. Perfect 10 Mixology is a mobile mixology service. They are basically the bougie bartending company, the hotness of the hotness. They ain't no regular, you just called your cousin to come bartend at your wedding. That's not what they do. She has a craft to what she do. There's an art to what she does. And look, when I first met this girl, she told me she make her own sweeteners. Listen.
Wait, sweeteners?
Simple syrups and shrubs, all the above.
She makes them
it all
herself.
Wow. I mean, I can smell the herbs all the way over
And
here,
the
but make
herbs
your
from the
own
garden.
sweeteners.
Listen, she
doing it on them.
She made me a drink the first time I met her, and I was like, "Can I just take you home?"
That's what it is.
You know what? What's the retainer? So listen, she gonna kick it with us today. We gonna start off with Jennifer making a drink for us so we can get ready to hop into this heavy topic y'all done picked for
I'm
this
gonna
week.
need that. So what
All right, what you got for us, Jennifer?
So we're going to make a drink called the Public Figure. And honestly, we need this because this is about to be intense. And I'm like, we need some liquid courage because without that, I don't know if anybody will open up too much to this topic. This is tough. So we're going to be using, I love using black-owned alcohol spirits. Like, that's it. Like, it's amazing. So we're using Duke and Dame today, which is a salted caramel whiskey. I don't know, have you guys ever tried this before?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Duke and Dame got a place here on JO.
Yeah.
So some people get the impression like, oh, salted caramel, is it going to be too sweet? No. So it actually has a good balance to it. So the one thing we're going to make is we're going to be using some fig preserves with it. Yeah.
That sounds
So
fancy.
a lot of things, preserves.
Wow.
So
Fancy. I never had a drink with preserves in it.
So a lot of times we like to make our cocktails with fresh ingredients or things that you may not see at a store or around about. Like, we like to use things that you can pull out your garden, such as the basil that we may use for our next cocktail, fig preserves, which is locally made. Like, it's things that you can put together. So we're going to do about 2 ounces of our fig preserves, of our Duke and Dame, and then we're going to do a tablespoon of fig preserves. So since I am making a batch cocktails for you three, I'm going to just triple it.
Oh.
All right. So since instead of 2 ounces, I'm doing 6 ounces, and instead of 1 tablespoon, I'm doing 2 tablespoons. All right.
Sounds delicious.
And you can find fig preserves at any kind of specialty food store. You can even make it yourself. It's actually easy. The next thing, now, I am using organic lemon juice. I prefer that you use fresh, but if you have to use bottled, go ahead and use something that is organic. So we're going to do...
Told y'all it was fancy.
I guess so.
So we're going to go ahead and do about a half an ounce of our lemon juice. All right. And since we're making all 3, we're going to do extra for that. And then we're going to add our bitters. Okay. So we're doing some chocolate bitters. Ooh.
Okay.
So just think chocolate and caramel.
I love chocolate.
Ooh.
We know.
When I tell you, baby, this is about to hit like fire. Okay. And then we're going to just shake it up. All right. So, shake it up really good. We want to make sure that we mix really well.
Shake what your mama gave,
but don't break it.
Shake it.
All right. So we have that. Oh, it smells so good. I love so my whole thing with cocktails is I enjoy the smell. Like, do y'all season y'all meat and then smell it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I do that with my cocktails. I do that with my cocktails because I just want to see how it's going to turn out. If I'm missing something, if it's smelling right, do I need to add something else? And I do it all the time. So some people look at me weird, but if you smell your meat, then you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Now, after we add all of that, we're just going to top it off with a little bit of ginger beer just to even it out.
Yeah, I'm about to be
That's
crying.
more than a little bit.
Yeah, that looks more than a little bit to me, too.
A taint.
A bottle of ginger beer.
Right. And then we're going to give it a nice little quick stir just to make sure that that ginger beer is mixed in properly with our cocktail. And I already took off a few of our lemon peels, and I'm just going to twist them and tuck them right into your glass.
Oh, see, this is.
I told y'all this
Extra
was
for
fancy.
this is. Let me
And
get
listen,
my
I am
pinky
so
ready.
a stickler about garnishes. Like when I teach classes, teaching people how to make craft cocktails, I always tell them, garnish is important. Like no matter what you do, even if you just throw something in there, garnish it, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
All right.
pass it around.
Take one and pass it around.
Yes.
All right,
And I'm
let's
gonna make one for me while y'all finish the conversation.
Okay.
You taste it.
Sounds
Let me
good.
know your thoughts.
We'll check
so this
back
is
in
the
with
public
you.
figure.
Oh,
A
is it-
public figure.
Yes.
All right, we're going to check back in with you, Jennifer.
All right, here we go. Let's
no.
do it.
It smells quite.
Oh, my God, that's good.
Smelling the meat.
This is...
Can you taste all the ingredients?
Wait a minute.
I smell the orange essence. And I don't
I
even
can
know if
taste
she
chocolate.
put orange
You
in
can
it.
taste the chocolate?
Yeah,
I
I
can
can taste
taste
the chocolate.
chocolate.
That's what's up.
This is so good.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah.
Don't sleep on it.
This is okay.
And
All
it's
right.
something that you can drink and then you might end up
You
on the
can't
floor.
even taste the liquor. It's,
Yeah, this
it
in
tastes
there.
like a really good pop. Actually, you
Yeah.
can't even taste the
that's
liquor
how you
at
know It's
all.
gonna sneak up on you.
I know.
It'll get you.
Maybe a wine cooler or something, but you definitely don't
We
know
gonna
it's-
have to have our intern bring in the tissues. It's gonna sneak up real quick.
Real quick.
All
Yeah.
right,
all
so
right.
let's get it, fellas.
What's
Tonight
up?
we
What's up?
talking about relationship trauma.
Okay.
How do you cope with past pains?
How? Okay. So whose responsibility is it to if you know you got a problem, whose responsibility is it? Is it on the other party or is it you? I
You.
want to know that.
It's your problem. It's on you. It ain't their problems to fix your trauma. I mean, they could support you and be there to help you, but help you through it, or
But what if
but
they're
it's
part
your
of the,
responsibility.
What if they're the problem? What if they're part
Still
of the
your
problem?
responsibility.
Y'all got that shaking in our headphones. Got that shaking in our. So no, my thing is when we're talking about past traumas and past hurts and things of that nature, the problem that most people run into is they don't actually deal with it. They don't actually
Right,
heal from
right,
it,
right.
which carries on, and past traumas we know can snowball. It basically turns from, this one trauma to, now you got a whole set of issues and baggage that you carrying around with you, like
Right.
the bag lady you see walking down the street. if you don't deal with trauma, trauma will deal with you.
But I mean, when you say deal with it, like sometimes it's too late. You said sometimes sometimes you don't know. It sneak up on you and then it's too late.
Yeah.
So how do you determine whether like, okay, I recognize I have a problem, I don't know if I have a problem? It's too much gray area in there. It's usually somebody else pointing out to you that you have a problem, and now you upset with that person because they like pointing it out to you like, oh, you this and you're that. Like that's now I got a whole nother issue with you, and that's just like nobody wants nothing negative labeled on them or attached to their name.
Yeah, but when we're talking about whether we're dealing with problems that people perceive we have or problems that we know we have, I think that's where the biggest difference is. So, I guess I got to be the first one to be a little transparent.
Waiting on somebody to do it.
I know. Yeah, I guess I'll dip my toe in the deep end first. So everybody on the show, like Robin and Mike, they are aware of this, but my listening audience, I'm sure you fam out there that don't know. So right now, for the last 3.5 years, and definitely now, that I'm going through a divorce. So it's my second divorce, unfortunately, but this is like the hardest one that I ever had to go through. I mean, I would say, hardest has only been the second, so it's not like I have a string of divorces out there.
Hold on, where we going with this?
But I think when me and my wife got together and we got married, I was much older. I had experience in marriage. I knew there were things about me that I had to work on and I had to fix, so I worked on those things. And so this time, my wife is the first woman I ever been in love with off the back. And now that we're getting a divorce, it hurts.
I mean,
but for me, when people are getting divorced, I've never been the one that says that because we're getting divorced, I don't believe is one person's fault. I believe it's both people's fault. So I'm not going to sit there and blame you for our divorce.
Right.
But even if you're 90% at fault and I'm 10% at fault.
Right.
So when I say dealing with the trauma, I recognize what my 10% is and I work on let me back.
Hold on, wait.
Because I ain't even going to put it out there.
Don't put a percentage on it.
I ain't even going to say that our divorce is 90% my wife's fault. It's absolutely not 90% her fault whatsoever. I'm just saying that the part that's my fault is what I focus on to try to make myself better, to try not to be bitter, because we, of course, have a son, and I don't want my son to ever feel like he's in the middle of mom and dad.
Okay.
So I have to work on that piece, and I may be butthurt, but I ain't bitter. And
so my question is, do you think that, because you mentioned that this is your second divorce, do you think that some trauma from your first marriage carried into this one, and it could have been a little bit of the reason why you're going through a divorce now?
No, I don't think the trauma from the first marriage. Before I got married, my biggest trauma was, and me and my wife spoke about this before we got married, is I absolutely hate divorce. I hate the process of divorce. I hate what it does to your family.
Who don't?
I despise it. If it's one thing I can say I hate, if hating divorce gonna keep me out of heaven, I'm going to hell. That's how much I hate.
Okay,
absolutely hate divorce. And I was terrified to get married again because I never wanted to go through divorce again.
And then here you go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the reason I said that like that is because now that's another trauma.
It's more of a trigger versus a trauma, because before we got married, I would say it was a trauma, but me and my wife spoke about this, And we had a deep conversation because I wasn't going to propose or ask anybody to marry me no matter what. I wasn't getting divorced again.
That to me sounds like you're traumatized.
That's why I said then I was traumatized over the fact we're getting divorced. But I knew my wife, she was, and she still is, it for me. I found my dream, everything, and I knew she was it for me. And so I had to work on that trauma piece of mine to get over it, to get to the point to asking her to marry me. So let me ask you this, and I'm going through some things too, but let me ask you this. Did you seek counseling? Because that was a hard, like to me still to this day, that's hard for me. Like I did anger management from my first marriage. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not like sitting up telling a stranger my business. I feel like I can't get with that.
All right, hold on, fellas. Let me jump in here.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this. Yes, I went to counseling then. I'm in counseling now. I'm on drugs.
Did you say you on drugs?
I'm on drugs.
Hold on. Wait, bro.
Listen.
To get through it, and because
this is shocking to me because I'm your best friend and you used to just say I'm on drugs.
Yeah,
I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on, bro.
For me, the show, like this is part of my therapy because I can tell you all now I'm happy-go-lucky here. When I'm at work, I'm doing what I need to do to take care of work. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm a strong face everywhere except when I'm at home
when you
by
get by
myself.
Yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when the pain comes. That's when you're crying in your sleep. You don't know why you're crying. I have the insomnia. Saddest dream. No, I can sleep. I can't. I ain't never had insomnia. But when I'm asleep, I have the saddest dreams. It's just like, really? I can't have one good happy-go-lucky dream. They are always horribly sad, just sad.
So I mean, and it affects different people different way. Like stress, trauma, things that you're going through. It affects people differently. I just don't know if, and to kind of go back into what you were saying, I don't know if talking to somebody that I don't know is the key.
That's what I was about to get to. Listen, I am one of those people that is firm on going to get therapy. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of aspects of my current marriage that we wouldn't have, there's things that we wouldn't have survived without going to get counseling. And that's a part of dealing with that trauma, that handling past trauma. Because sometimes, and, you do have people that think like you about, I don't want to sit up and talk to a stranger, but that unbiased third party, that listening ear, somebody that has no skin in the game at all, can help you work through things that you're dealing with, can help you see an outside perspective that has no motive. Yeah. See, you can talk to family friends, you can talk to your spouse, you can talk to other people, right. But in your mind, they all have a motive. When you add a licensed therapist into the equation, this person has no motive, no skin in the game. All they have is their professional insight and a listening ear.
Well, see, I can't even get past choosing whether I want to talk to somebody that's a male or female, what age, and all of that. Like I literally was like, it was like, okay, I need you to go get some counseling. I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, for me, I
couldn't pick. I'm on the internet. I'm like, then it was COVID. I don't want to sit up and talk to some computer screen and this that. So it was really an excuse.
Yeah, it was all excuses. Yeah. It's all excuses.
I was like you. I've never went to counseling before my first marriage. So when I got divorced, I didn't know I needed counseling until I was having, and this never happened to me before, I was having horrible anxiety attacks, just really bad, didn't know what they were whatsoever. And I went to just the doctor to see, I didn't even know it was anxiety. I went to the doctor and they told me it's anxiety, but before they could prescribe me something, I had to go see a therapist.
And that's another thing. I guess I'm the bad guy on this one because I don't want to talk to nobody, and then if I do, they want to prescribe me medicine.
Not necessarily.
Not all the time.
It's just like let me make money off of you and exploit your issue.
You can go see a therapist that.
But I need to see a therapist about going to see a therapist.
No, there's two.
I'm so serious. Like I just don't.
You can see a therapist. Therapists are not necessarily licensed to prescribe you anything. They just sit and hear you, listen to you talk,
and they take notes and they be.
No, see, you got a TV perspective about therapy.
Yeah, for real. Okay, yeah.
See, Mike, I really believe you have a TV perspective on therapy. Like you really have.
I've actually been the one. Like I went to anger management because everybody. My job made me go in order to keep my job.
What? Anger management is completely
different from
you walk in anger management, and it's your fault you there.
What you so angry for?
You fucking anger management, and it's your fault that you there. Right. See, you go to counseling, there's really no fault involved. But if you go to anger management, don't nobody just get up and be like, you know what? I've been angry for far too long.
I'm glad you said that about fault. So to all my brothers and sisters out there, black folks that usually don't go to counseling and everything. So one of the things that happen when you do go to counseling, they do help you to realize it is not your fault that you feel a certain way or that you're going through depression and stuff.
Wait a minute.
But here's my caveat. If you go to a therapist and they tell you that it's not your fault that you have depression or whatever the case may be, we need as people to not go looking for who fault it is versus working on the trauma.
Wait, talk about that.
Because that's typically what we do. We want to find out who fault it is. But that's different when y'all together and you done smacked them up a couple of times.
Listen, I would go to marriage counseling with my husband and we walk out and I'd be like, you know, I won marriage counseling today.
And you're not supposed to do that at all because it ain't a competition.
I'd be like, you know, she was judging you. You know, I won marriage counseling.
Listen.
You ain't supposed to do that.
I don't know. So,
yeah, that's why we decided to go to counseling individually.
Am I the only one here who feels a way about
Yeah.
I think shopping for like marriage counseling, if I can interject, or even kind of any kind of counseling, like I think you have to. It's like shopping for clothes. Like you may not find the right one at the first time.
This is true.
You have to really keep your mind open and really like interview them. Like instead of them dissecting you, interview them to see what it is, what's a good fit for you. So somebody that you may think is a good fit could possibly work, but then you may talk to somebody and be like, I don't know, I ain't really vibe with them. I didn't feel like they understood me. And then you go with somebody else. It is a shop around.
Listen, so y'all know I own an insurance agency, right? And I tell my clients that all the time. You don't know how many times I've talked to clients and they be like, I don't like my doctor. And I be like, you do know that's the one thing you can't control over in this situation.
You can change.
You can change your doctor.
Okay, but am I supposed to feel comfortable with this person?
Okay, so
that's
for
what I'm just saying. Like
then choose somebody else until you find somebody you're comfortable
I will literally.
with.
If they don't agree with me, then I'm just gonna.
And that's the thing. They don't agree or disagree with you. They help you self-discover what the issue is.
I believe you thinking about counseling like really, like you said, like somebody sitting there judging you, and that's not the case. I
don't even listen. I don't like calling to get my cable turned on because they ask too many questions. Like, why do you need to know so much information? I just want to watch TV.
And sometimes
I hate being questioned. I do.
Listen, I tell bill collectors all the time, why you verifying it's me to pay the bill? Because if it's a stranger calling to pay my bill,
dude, I literally be like, what do it say in the computer? You called me.
Right. So with that in mind, so going through this divorce, so if you really don't want to sit down and have a conversation like that, sometimes you can go see the psychiatrist that would just prescribe you something based off your symptoms.
But see, you just said the buzzword, psychiatrist. We don't like that.
Those are the one that provides you the drugs.
I know what they are. I know who they are, and I'm familiar with them. I don't care
what you call them.
You don't want a psychiatrist.
You can call them your drug man if that make you feel better. But I can tell you them drugs work.
So no, in all seriousness,
I just got to say, going through this divorce, so I don't know. I don't think it was anxiety. I don't know what it really was, but I found myself not being able to do anything. I would sit in front of my computer, but couldn't fathom the want to just work. I would just sit there and look at it all day.
Okay.
And so I know that wasn't normal about me because you all know I'm hyper, but I couldn't get myself to work. I would just sit and look and so I went and sought out a therapist and so talked to her. So I talked to a therapist to talk, and I have the psychiatrist for the drugs.
Okay, so here,
Ty, we are not going to encourage our viewers to go get
if
drugs.
that's what you need, get your drugs.
prescription drugs. Put that in front of that, please.
Prescription drugs.
Okay.
Or smoke your weed.
So I honestly, like, in all seriousness, I think that part of my problem with what I'm going through right now, because it ain't Peachy Street over here either, bro. So like, you ain't the only one going through.
Yeah.
Listen, it's hard. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
I know, right?
Marriage is hard.
Yeah, it is. Like right now, it's just like to the point where it's just like I lashed out. Things was going that. I broke fences, put holes in. I ain't never hit her.
Maybe you do need anger
I
management.
punched holes in drywall and like it's.
What that wall do to you? You might need some anger management.
But I'm reading like.
Do anger management class piss you off, Mike?
Sometimes, but listen, the people told me to redirect my frustrations. So if I'm not physically harming nobody, like I busted up my knuckles before breaking down.
But you're physically harming yourself.
But therapy will help you to understand the why. Why are you doing those things?
Oh, I know why.
Is it just it can
No.
be deeper
You know
than
the
just
surface
because
why.
of the situation?
Because my feelings are hurt.
No. That's the surface why.
Yeah, that's the surface.
That's the surface
but
why.
So since your feelings is hurt, why do you always go towards anger?
Acting out.
Because once I start crying, it depends on what it is. I black out. Like I lose it. I literally lose it.
That's why you need therapy.
Then I know to get away
Okay, so
from.
wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute.
We're going to read some comments.
Okay.
Wait a minute, fellas. Wait a minute.
Where we at?
Are you looking at comments? Or?
I am. We got a comment from Vaughn to say, yup, these wives ain't gonna stress me out. These wives ain't gonna stress me out. Wait a minute, why is it the wives though?
Well,
I can't. In my situation, I know for sure it's not. Like I'm not gonna put a percentage on it. I'm just as guilty as she is. So I take ownership of it, and it's a lot of things that I see now that I wish that I could go back and change. But like that's another thing that I feel like they fail you. Okay, I was wrong. How do I get the other person to just accept the fact that I was wrong?
I can tell you how. I can not necessarily the how. So, like right now, we're going through, like I said, a divorce, and it's going through the process.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I don't have these pains, I don't have these triggers, these issues, and everything. And so the therapist is not necessarily there to tell you how you can fix your current situation. So it is more of understanding what you're going through now. And so R. Kelly, he said it best.
Okay, we can't talk mental
What,
therapy.
one man can make one woman hate all men? Yes, that's what he said best.
No, R. Kelly said when a woman's fed up,
ain't nothing you can do about it.
No, R. Kelly said, I don't even know how to hog tie. So let's not.
Listen, wait a minute.
So that
Wait a
song
minute.
is true. So you're not necessarily going through therapy to try to. You may be at the point where it's unfixable.
But I'm still coming out of my pocket.
Wait a minute. So y'all, let's
So
take a
it's
pause.
about working on you.
Fellas, okay, I'm sorry. We going into the Mike and Ty therapy session.
Okay,
Let's take a pause and let's get our next drink. I'm out of alcohol.
Okay.
You out already?
Y'all over here done went deep. I'm over here just like, I don't really have much to say. I want to give both of y'all a hug, to be quite honest with you.
And see, that's the
really have much
thing
to
with.
say.
Unfortunately, in our situation in our race, black guys don't really go to therapy that often.
No, they don't.
Our therapy is the barbershop.
And that's
Or the liquors, or the bar.
Not so much the bar anymore, because the barbershop is typically all guys.
But
there.
see, at the barbershop, Negroes African American don't do nothing but sit up there in front. They don't have conversations like me and you have.
Okay.
Yes,
Right
they.
here.
Oh, yeah, they.
I'm gonna ask this
I gotta
again.
take.
Okay, yes.
We gotta
Can
go
we
to
go back to-
AJ's.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask this again.
Yes.
Can we go back to Jennifer for
Yes,
a minute?
yes, yes,
Let's
yes,
go back
yes,
to Jennifer
yes.
for a minute.
Okay.
Jennifer, what you got for the second half of the show?
So the second half, first of all, like I'm an advocate for therapy. I think that it's important. And I mean, I hear all the valid points, and I think that like you have to be open to the idea of just being vulnerable. Like and just trying to be in a vulnerable space is very difficult.
Absolutely.
But it's necessary because then we tend to find other vices to fill that void or feel that pain or that hurt. And when you have an opportunity to just be able to let it out with a non-biased person who can give you true like outlook or just kind of open up some things that you maybe never think about, it's important. So I'm an advocate for therapy.
Me too.
Listen,
Me too.
I am.
Me too.
I'm all for it. But
I
this is
just
why I
think we
drink
wait
sometimes.
too long.
Listen, I was just about to say, like, she dropped some jewels, but guess what?
This is why I drink sometimes because you gotta be able to be like,
Hey, I
let
think
me just
Ludacris
cope
got the
this real
best
quick.
song out. It's called Vices.
Right.
That's therapy.
Well, I done added to my vices going through this divorce. I got an extra
So
vice.
we do need some more cups for the next cocktail. So I'll make you guys something. I'll make you guys the same thing that we just had, but we will need some more cups for our other cocktail. Do you
Okay.
guys have more cups?
That works. That
Okay,
works.
cool. So I'll make you guys the same thing, but I do love. So I
we
do
got
have
our
a great
intern.
cocktail that I love to make that I'll make you guys later on in the show. But it's a peach basil mojito.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's a great summer drink. It's something that has it's effervescence. It has like a great like light flavor to it, so you can sip it out. It can be 3:00 in the afternoon, and you're like, I only got one more meeting to go to. Let me
Listen.
sip this cocktail.
right.
Like, so it's a great drink. So I would
It's
love to
6
make it for
o'clock
you
somewhere.
guys. Right?
I know.
Exactly.
Like somewhere.
But I am going to, I'll make the public figure for you guys one more time. And then we'll make the other one a little bit later once we get some more cups.
That works. That works for us.
Yay. So this was your husband's. I don't know if you want to
Yeah,
take it.
he gonna have to wait. He
gonna have to wait.
You take it.
He gonna have to wait on that.
You can get your second one.
You want to?
Okay,
So while we waiting on the
So-
second drink, we
okay.
have to go ahead and send Kendrick her shout out.
We gotta send Kendrick her shout out, man. She inboxed us the female begging song, fellas.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay,
From
what
last
was it?
week's
Okay,
show,
what was it? What
she
was it?
sent us the female begging song, and the female begging song is. I know it was by Janet.
Janet Jackson.
It was by Janet Jackson. Yes,
It's
Janet.
really by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Don't listen.
Don't do that.
Don't do
Janet
that.
song.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Janet
about
deserves
you
better.
can't say nothing bad about
Don't do
Janet,
that.
and you can't say nothing bad about Beyonce. You ought to know better than that.
Janet Jackson, come back to me.
That's the
That was
female
a good
begging
pick.
song?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
she
a
was
good.
begging.
It
She
was
was
a good
begging.
begging
I'm gonna have to
song.
go listen to that because I
She
am
was
not
begging.
familiar.
So shout out for the female begging song.
So good job, Kendry. The only thing I would say about Janet, it was a begging song. She didn't put that begging into it. You know, you couldn't feel
well,
her
when you as
pain
fine
through the
as
song.
Janet, do you really
gotta
have to
beg as fine
Probably
as
not.
Janet?
That's why you couldn't feel her pain.
You only get them real begging songs.
I wanna
like
feel some
Seal and
He said Seal.
my bad.
You ought to be a shit. Seal, we have
Right.
J-O-O
We love you.
has nothing against Seal. We love
I'm
Seal.
just saying,
and would love
bro.
him to come on the show.
I'm just saying. Nah, like I probably would make a bomb begging song. I gotta tell everybody, I'm not a 10, but I'm not a 1.
So listen, speaking of that, this whole baggage thing, and I'm gonna just jump in kind of off of this therapy thing, because one of the things truth of the matter is, for whatever reason in the world, African Americans do not like going to therapy, and I don't know why, because it is probably one of the best things for you. So I'm not really sure why African Americans don't go to therapy, but I will say therapy is something that I think everybody should do, even if you're not having any issues.
Right.
It could be some deep rooted things that you don't even know is there. But what I'm gonna say about the holding on to baggage, or how do you release baggage? For me, therapy wasn't the only way to release baggage.
Of course not.
Okay.
For me, when I came out of my first marriage, I came out of my first marriage. First of all, I was young. So learning that you even have baggage at 20 something years old is hard to do. Like, you don't even acknowledge baggage at 20 something years old. You don't see the hurt, you don't see the trauma. You just kind of keep moving. One of the things that I will say is probably the worst advice that I've ever heard with people trying to get over relationship trauma, especially, is, the best way to give it over one is to get under another. That is horrible advice. Horrible advice.
But it feels good.
It may feel good for a moment, but it is bad advice, because the truth of the matter is, one thing that I learned going through my own issues is you have to give yourself time. And when I say give yourself time, yourself time to heal, yourself time to reevaluate, yourself time to learn what it is that I really want going forward. I had an ex, and it wasn't my ex-husband, but I had an ex that broke me. I'm talking completely broke me. And it was because he was that person that I pushed the limits with. So all of those things that I was reserved with, all of those feelings that I kept bottled up and reserved, all of those things that I kept reserved, all those I'd never do. I pushed the limit with him, and I did those things. So to be hurt by him was that break. He was the one that broke me. And when I met my husband, I was broken. I was completely broken when I met my husband. And I was honest with him and told him that I was broken. But because I was broken, it took me too long to unbreak. It was a lot of stuff that I would blame on him, or certain things that I wouldn't give him the benefit of doubt on, because because my ex,
it looked familiar.
Yeah, it was familiar. I saw that.
Like to your point, Robin, like that. I think, this is marriage number 2 for me, and it's once we saw the toxicity in the environment in the home, something had to happen against our own better judgment. Like, to this day, I know for a fact we both love each other, hands down. Nobody could tell me she don't love me and I don't love her. I'm not hearing it. I know we get mad at each other, whatever. We love each other. But something on both sides of the fence is keeping us from being able to fix it.
Can I pause you for a minute? Because I just saw her pull out a really pretty bottle. So can we get a close up on that?
What was we doing?
I saw her out the corner of my eye with a really pretty bottle. What was that you had in your hand?
So this is Fondre. This is Fondre. It's a vodka. It's actually a black-owned vodka. Isn't this bottle pretty?
That is beautiful. I need that on my shelf.
I know, right?
I caught her out the corner of my eye while I was talking.
When
it's
gone,
an
I'm gonna
award.
keep it on my.
Listen,
on my,
I would like
my
to
bar.
thank the Academy. That's what it looked like. Yes.
So we're making the peach basil mojito. So it has basil, it has lemon juice, simple syrup, peach schnapps, and then vodka, and then topped with club soda.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we're going to get back to you.
Okay.
I can mess with that.
That bottle was absolutely beautiful.
Is that clear base? Is that clear base?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
The one thing that I would say about Black folks and therapy, like, I agree with Robin and our special guests regarding therapy, but I think too often we take, and I want to say this as correctly as possible. You all know I'm not typically politically correct. But too often I think we only go by part of what the Bible says versus the whole phrase. Like, a lot of times when you're going through stuff and you're talking to people and you're talking to family, they tell you to just go and pray about it and everything will be fine. Just pray about it. Just pray about it.
But prayer without works is dead.
Exactly. So we do part of it, but without doing the rest of it. And part of that works piece is understanding that you have a problem, going to therapy,
Utilizing your resources.
Utilizing your
Absolutely.
resources, talking to people that can provide you adequate actually advice and not just yes men or no men or whatever. One thing, if you got friends that always agree with you, they're not your friends.
I approve that message. So yes.
Somebody give me an organ real quick.
So I think that's one of our problems when it comes to us black people. Typically, our go-to is just only pray about.
Well, see, here's something that I want to say this real quick. Y'all said prayer without works is dead. Mm-hmm. Somebody recently told me it was like, if you're gonna pray about it and bring it to the altar, leave it there and walk away.
Yeah, but
pray about it and don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
But not do the work.
Too much work. I could be working myself.
When you deal with somebody that says leave it at the altar, that means stop worrying about it.
At the altar.
That don't mean stop working on you. That means stop letting it stress you. Stop worrying about it. Stop crying about it. When you have to leave things at the altar, that means I can't do this. I'm giving this to you because I've tried to do this on my own.
And I'm messing it.
And I am screwing this up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave this here and I'm going to let you do you because this ain't my business.
Right. But you still got to go do the work
on you.
Yes.
And
that's the piece that I don't believe us as a community has truly grasped.
Okay.
Yeah, and which is unfortunate.
We got a comment from Kendra that says black people view depression symptoms as just being lazy. And then I'm a piggyback off of that to Mia's comment, and it says facts. We don't appreciate depression. We think it's a sign of weakness, and that is I couldn't agree with that more.
Okay,
because when our people see depression and anxiety and things like that, the first thing we want to say is, "Oh, suck it up." Mm-hmm. You know, "Oh, you'll be all right. Suck it up." When that's a real thing. That is.
But then we're raised like. But how can you tell me be a strong black man, be strong, be the leader, be this, be that, and then tell me go suck it up? Like you continuing on with the whole.
Yes, and that's one of our problems as a community as well, because that's one of my problems. So I put on this really strong, happy-go-lucky front in the daytime when I'm around people.
So you're Batman.
But pretty much, just
because he got all kind of psychological issues. But
when I'm at home and when I'm by myself in my room and it's just me, that's when everything hit me. So I may be strong for my family, but I also understand that in order for me to continue to be strong for my family, I have to get the help that I need, so that I can support them how I need to be.
You know what, on the flip side of that, Mike, to address what you said, yes, we do expect you to be the strength. As the men, we do expect you to be the strength. But what I need people to understand, and what I had to learn myself, is the balance. Mm-hmm. You ever seen the yin and yang symbol? Mm-hmm. Where, you know, you got a piece of, you know, you can't have light without darkness and, you know, things of that nature, you know. That's one of the things I need people to understand when it comes to strength. Mm-hmm. In order to really be strong, you have to be able to accept your weaknesses. Yeah. You have to be able to work through your weaknesses. You can't just, you didn't bust out of the womb strong.
You got to go through something.
And the way I was.
Strength is built. And just like when you go to the gym.
Okay.
If you don't go to the gym.
Right.
You don't have the strength of somebody that goes to the gym and lift weights every day. It's built.
Right. And I feel everything that you're saying. However, I will say this. I wasn't coming straight out of the womb with the strength that I have. The things that I have been through have made me this brick hard. Like, I can't be soft. I can't be weak. I was the oldest of three boys. And everything wasn't peachy and creamy all the time. I'm not gonna say it was bad all the time either.
Well,
but at the same hold on. At the same time, after that, I lost my mom and my dad, and the oldest of three. I done been to my weakest point,
and that's
so somebody coming to me telling me, "Oh, I'm sorry, like." I'm gonna walk out of your life. I done lost the two most important people to me in my life. I can't be no more lower than that.
And I get it. I understand. I know where you're coming from. But the one thing that I would say, we can continue to be strong, but therapy isn't everyone's business. So you can go to therapy for you, and you don't have to let anybody know that you're going through therapy whatsoever.
But my shame ain't about who know or anything like that. I don't personally feel like you can help me. Whoever it is.
So what can help you, Mike?
But here's therapy is not just...
No. I need this question answered. What can help you?
I've honestly set up on hours and hours at night thinking about that same question. And honestly, there was a couple times that the answer was...
Okay, my next question is, what have you tried?
To just say, forget it and be done.
Okay, so nothing.
No, forget it like in my life.
So nothing. So nothing.
I'm just telling you.
So what I'm trying to get you to understand is you can't say what can and can't help you if you're not actually trying anything.
I understand. But I personally don't see that.
Well, there's things you can do before therapy, because like I said, I was like you. It took me a while to get to the therapy step. It wasn't until I was going through some serious issues before I got to the therapy step. And the first thing that I tried, and I don't typically although I can read, I don't typically like reading books. I'm a movie watcher. Mm-hmm. I can't even tell you how many books I was reading, because I was just trying to figure out what was going on with me. Nobody knew I was reading books, and I didn't share with anyone. I would just go to Amazon and get the electric or the digital books, or get the books on tape and listen to them on the work to help me to understand what I'm going through and provide me tips and practices that I can use when I'm in certain situations.
Do you know that those people write those books to make money? They're exploiting you. So Steve Harvey,
I'm not talking about
Alanya, whoever she is. I'm sorry, like y'all
I'm not talking about Steve Harvey book.
You gonna go spend $20 on a book?
Wait a minute, Mike.
When there's the Bible.
Time out.
I'm not talking about Steve Harvey books.
Look at Steve Harvey. Really, you gonna read his book?
You gotta.
I love you as a comedian,
therapist and real counselors and stuff like that.
First of all, my first question is, he does not have. My first issue is he
He's
does not
not
have
a therapist.
no therapy or psychology degree.
Him and Oprah and who was the dude? Oprah's sidekick, Dr. Phil.
You ain't gonna get me to talk junk about Oprah.
Hey, I'm sorry.
She went and put $2 million in a bank account just because she hadn't been to the bank in 17 years.
Okay.
Listen,
And see that
you ain't gonna get me to talk junk about Oprah. We good.
And this is probably gonna be a bombshell, and I know people probably gonna be all in the comments. I think the true form of therapy is money and finances.
That is the biggest lie ever.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why that's the biggest. Let me tell you why that's the biggest lie ever. First of all, let me be abundantly clear to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know me.
Yeah.
Live with me.
Mm-hmm.
See the lifestyle I live.
Mm-hmm.
See that I don't care nothing about spending no money.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much have it in abundance and can do what I want to do, right?
Yep.
Is my life perfect?
That's for you to answer.
Heck no.
Okay.
Well, also, you know me. You know I've been a boss a long time.
Listen, sir.
I make I don't want to say how much I make, but I make back.
So if you talking about money and finances as therapy, we are failing.
Degrees. I got several degrees.
Failing.
I take care of my kids. I'm like, if you on the good dude level, I'm way up there, and I'm on my second divorce.
Sir.
So
I said that
obviously,
I'm not
we
saying that
all
I'm
could
right.
use work.
Let me tell y'all the biggest problem I see in this. You have to. I think people spend a lot of time looking at other people's lives and only seeing the highlight reel.
Right.
But
that's Facebook. That's Instagram. That's all of that. It's just highlight reel.
No. Let me finish. Mm-hmm. Because the comment you made about money and finances, that's because what you're thinking about is okay, people with money and finances don't seem to be having these problems that I'm having.
No, I feel like they have those problems, but I'm thinking like they won't be stuck in that.
No, sir. No. See, that's what I'm saying. Why do you think you have so many millionaires and billionaires committing suicide?
Because they was unhappy before they got the riches.
No,
money can't fix mental health.
Money don't fix mental health. Money don't fix issues. Money don't fix problems in your marriage. Money don't fix demons that you dealing with. Money don't fix any of that.
I mean, I feel you, but from the stance.
Do you know how many times I thought
when I'm from like the stance that I take on and knowing that everything else was going good and that's part of my demise,
sir,
part of my
I
problem.
hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that ain't the root of your problem.
Yeah, I wish I can give my wife a bag and be like, okay, now we done with this divorce foolishness.
Right?
You go a bag, we good, we back to how it used to be.
Do you know how many times I done got into it with my husband and we be on the brink of chaos and I'd be like, can I just go buy this ninja something? Look, can he go buy me something? And we just be, that don't work. Okay. I'm sorry. Money is not the root of the problems you are having.
Okay.
And all you're telling me is you actually need to find out what the root is, because it ain't the finances, sir.
But there's several ways you can go about doing it. Like I say, you can research, read books. You can go to a therapist. Talk to somebody that's truly.
What else you got?
Talk to somebody that's truly. That provides like really good advice. So one thing that I can say about my parents, I call them super couple. That they do even provide. They got problems. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure they do. But they provide really good sound advice when it comes to relationships. A lot of times it's some things I don't want to hear. They're not going to tell me that I'm right. A lot of times they done told me I'm wrong. I'm waiting for the you're right piece, but they tell me I'm wrong. But find people like that you can go talk to, that you feel comfortable with, that's going to provide you really good, solid advice, not on the relationship, but to help you to understand why your go-to move is anger or punching something or, throwing the dish or stuff like that.
I've only broke a few dishes, but I have gotten a lot better. And that's only because I know my kids be watching.
Okay,
and
so
let me give
you some advice. Let me dip my toe in the transparency pool, I guess. Violence was my go-to for a while too. Violence was my go-to. Mm-hmm. Like you push me to a certain level, I'm ready to swing on you. Yeah. I'm throwing stuff, I'm breaking things. Right. I know you don't want to hear this, but therapy helped me to stop doing that. But the truth of the matter is, one of the things that I had to do, and this is going to sound horribly cliche, was going back to when you said leave it on the altar. Mm-hmm. I had to release my anger to God. And I hate I really hate to say that to you because it sounds horribly cliche, but it is the honest to God truth. I literally had to come to a point of breakdown. I had a prophetess tell me, come to our church. She was a guest. So this lady didn't know me from the socks that the person in the back was wearing. She ain't know nothing about me. I've never met this lady. It ain't like I picked her up from the airport. I know nothing about her. She was at our church and she walked up on me. I was sitting on about the third row. We were having a women's conference and she walked up on me and was like, oh, you got delivered. You had a murder spirit on you. Mm. And I said, at this point, I'm looking at this lady like, she said, I can hear you in the spirit. You done said it numerous times. You gonna make me kill you. And, I'm sitting there like, trying to count how many times I done said that in my head. Right, you know what I'm saying? You gonna make me kill you. Right. She said, you got delivered just in time because God is showing me you in handcuffs. Mm. And all I could do at that point was break because I knew that she was hearing from the Holy Spirit. I knew she heard exactly what she was hearing because I knew who I was. Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you is, and like I said, I'm not trying to get preachy on you, but what I'm telling you is that That type of stuff, that's a spirit, sweetie. The spirit of anger, the spirit of frustration. Ty mentioned, people taking bits and pieces from the Bible. Well, one of the main things the Bibles talk about is us not fighting against flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm. True.
You're not fighting a man. You fighting the spirit in that man.
Right.
So if anger is your go-to, you need to figure out what spirit is fueling your anger.
People.
That it ain't people.
Nope.
It ain't
and
people.
That's the thing.
It's you. Stop blaming other people.
It's not other folks. It's something within you. That's the point about therapists. They help you to self-discover, to see what's going on with you. It's easy to say, it's my wife's fault we're going through divorce. She did X, Y, Z.
I know I did X, Y, Z, or she did X, Y, Z. I know what I've done. I know what she done.
Yeah, but it's easy to say I'm only angry because of what she did. If she would have never did X, Y, Z, then I wouldn't be angry.
But I take ownership, so now what?
You taking ownership for being angry for the issue.
No, I'm taking ownership for what I actually did. And then
but you talking about breaking the walls and stuff
No. I'm talking about what made her speak out on what was going on and then me getting upset about it.
Right. So now what the therapist part or what dealing with our issues will help you to realize is why anger is your go-to thing.
Because I'm tired of crying. Like, why y'all can't see that? Like, you cry so much, that emotion is numb to you now.
You want to know what's interesting? You're getting angry with us.
No,
we're going to take his ass out on the streets. Let's do this, partner.
You got me messed up.
Listen, by the way, this second drink, I want you to tell me what
don't be getting angry.
I'm not angry. I'm not. I promise I'm good.
Look, you mad? Are you mad, Mike?
What
do
Johnny say?
What?
What do Johnny say? Don't let your wooden God.
Don't let your wooden God fool you. And he got that from my grandma.
My grandma was a thug. Hey, she'll tell you in a minute.
Don't let your wooden God fool you.
You run up on me.
Look, that means don't let this foolishness over here trick you into getting your behind whooped.
Right. Don't let your wooden God fool you, because whoever you praying to ain't gonna help you.
Ain't listen.
Help you right now.
And he telling you bad decisions. Right.
Shout out to my girl. And that's another thing. Like, that crushed me. That she was the first person that.
Time out. Wait, I get what you're saying, but I need you to hear something real quick.
Okay.
You have literally named 3 things that has crushed you. You don't think that you might need to talk through those 3 crushing events in your life with somebody?
Nothing that person can tell me is going to bring my grandmother back.
Nothing that person can tell me
can bring my mom back or my dad back.
It's not about bringing them back.
It's helping you deal with grief.
Time out, big dog. I lost mine too.
I know.
That same grandma that you lost, I lost. You lost your father, I lost mine too.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not letting hurt fuel me. Because first of all, the people that we're talking about, that mama that you lost, you know what I meant to her.
Right.
So I know that the people we're discussing here sitting at this table would be pissed at us letting their death fuel what's going on with us.
I would agree. I would agree with
pissed.
That. I know. Because they would probably even be more upset because of what has transpired as a direct result of that. Like, everybody in our family was rooted and grounded and believing and doing the work and missionaries and this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. I've never felt so disconnected.
But that's because you're disconnected.
Well,
you one of them. You trying to find Jesus?
No. I feel like it's this. I feel like I'm being punished because there was an instruction or a calling on my life and I refused to do it. So now you want to punish me?
God don't do that. Wait a minute. Time out. Now, I've been trying to not preach to you tonight. Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just going to be 100.
What makes you think my God in all his glory got the patience to be sitting up punishing you because you won't get your life right?
I don't know. That's a good question. You have to ask him.
Because, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
No, so one thing I can't say.
That's your life.
God does give us free will. So he may guide you towards the right path. And
but it's your decision to walk in that door.
And then we do what we want to do, and a lot of trouble comes our way. And then sometimes we say it's because I didn't do exactly what you said to do. But even though trouble is coming your way, you could still say a little prayer and do that hard U-turn and go right back.
I do.
And you be good. That's what grace and mercy is for.
Let me tell you what you're feeling, though. If you can admit that this is what I was supposed to do and I'm not doing it and I feel like I'm being punished for it, it's you that's punishing you.
Because I don't want to do that.
It's not about you wanting to. Do you want to get up and go to work every day, or do you want to wake up a millionaire?
I want to wake up a millionaire.
But guess what you do?
Get up and take my...
Exactly my point.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right, listen.
Okay,
it's
y'all, we up here, right?
Okay.
We on
Y'all done made us go here tonight. Listen. First of all, I told the fellas that this one was gonna be heavy tonight.
Yeah,
we talked about it.
Listen,
this wasn't one of our funny shows, but this is the first show to season 2.
Season 2,
we
number
are
1.
officially in season 2. The other thing I want to mention to you guys is we have been entered in the podcast award.
Yes.
So we've been entered into 2 categories in the podcast rewards: best relationship podcast and
Black Podcast Award.
Podcast Award.
Yep.
Best relationship podcast and best new podcast. So with us starting off season 2, I am very, very excited about the podcast awards that's coming up in September.
Yep.
We got something else coming up in September, and I'm glad my girl Jennifer here to kick it with us, because coming up in September we got the Black Spirits event.
We just finished talking about Jesus. Now we talking about spirit.
That was his first.
We going to hell.
Tell him.
We going to hell.
So Jennifer, help me tell
with
the
a
people.
peach drink.
Jennifer, help me tell the people about the Black Spirits event.
So it is coming up in September. It's going to be awesome. So we did one back in June, and it was amazing. And it's going to be even bigger.
Bigger.
All Black spirits, all Black everything, supporting Black spirit brands, where you can have tastings, cocktails, come out in your finest gala attire. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be in downtown Detroit. We're going to have a great time.
So we won't be in our JOO shirts. We going to be,
suited and
young, flashy.
You said it's September when in September?
I believe it's September 29th.
It's the weekend of the 29th. Yes, the weekend of September 29th. Special shout out to L Boogie, because that's his birthday.
Yes,
so of course,
my brother.
Of course, my boy Lazar gonna do something big on his birthday weekend.
So that gives me about 8 weeks to lose these 20 pounds.
Oh, here you go.
So
you can't do it with that cup in your hand.
Right, not.
This is the only drink I had in a while.
Listen, I don't know.
I'm about to go sweat off these.
So wait a minute, Jennifer, what was his last drink?
tell
Because this is amazing.
This is
Great. Yeah, so that is the peach basil mojito. And when I tell you guys, that is my favorite summertime drink to start it off. It's with vodka, peach schnapps, basil, lemon juice, and a little bit of simple syrup and topped with club soda. It is amazing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
an amazing
You know what?
experience.
Her drinks are amazing. You can't taste the alcohol in none of these, but I'm starting to feel it.
So listen, Jennifer will be in the house for the Black Spirits event. Listen, if y'all can come out and hang with us, come do that. For the next month and a half until the Black Spirits event, we will be showcasing different Black Spirits that will be showcased at the event. L Boogie gonna come hang out with us for a couple of shows. We gonna have a good time in August and September. So we wanted to bring Jennifer in to kick off our Black Spirits event.
Definitely.
Listen, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Fellas,
And, one thing. After the Black Spirits event, we're going to have the revival, because we're going to need Jesus after 2 months of drinking liquor and then going to an event. We're going to that revival.
Okay.
So listen, I'm excited. I'm excited about all the big things that JOO is a part of, and I just want to be fully transparent in my emotionalness at the moment. It's because of y'all. Like, listen, we
Yep.
we wouldn't have half the things we have going on if it wasn't for the 4,000 people a week that watch our videos.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Like, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. This is awesome. For us to be a podcast that only started in February, we are doing big things. And first of all, I love these two as much as me and Ty fight on air all the time. He like my brother, and I wouldn't trade him for the world. And y'all know Mike, my big cousin, so I can't get rid of him. So it is what it is. But listen, shout out to Perfect 10 Mixology for coming to mix them up for us today.
Thank you for having me.
Listen,
Definitely.
Perfect 10 Mixology came through, mixed it up for us today. We got people in the background of the studio trying to get another drink, just so you know. So we gonna need you to make a couple more for the after the show after party.
I got you.
Okay,
Listen, we appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. I see all the comments about how good the show was tonight and how we need to do a part 2. We might have to do a mid-season part 2 because I can't go this heavy 2 weeks.
I know, right? Listen, we didn't even do a final thought. It was just that heavy.
Yeah,
Right?
it went heavy. So we can't go this heavy 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
But we will definitely hit this topic again. I do see the comments. I love y'all. I love y'all energy. Thank y'all for being transparent with us tonight and allowing us to be transparent with y'all, because we did put a lot of things on the table that on a normal day, in a normal situation, in a normal environment, we would all keep guarded. And we did put some things on the table tonight. So I appreciate y'all for just being here and helping us to work through some of our issues, because at the end of the day, our show is called Just Our Opinion for a reason. We never declare to be relationship experts or experts of anything. We are literally giving y'all our opinion, venting to y'all, and y'all helping us with our therapy. So Mike talk all this junk about therapy, and basically that's all we do at this table every week.
But see that. Okay,
We gotta
Part two.
save it to part 2.
Okay. All
So
right.
look,
Coming to a theater near you.
shout out to the Black Spirits event. Shout out to Perfect 10 Mixology. This has been Just Our Opinion with Robin.
Mike.
And Ty.
We love y'all. Peace.
Deuces.
Just Our Opinion with Robin, Mike, and Ty is available on YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Facebook, and many more. Join us live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. or listen to us wherever you enjoy podcast. And please like, share, and follow.